Hi guys, welcome to Brahmavidyas Academy's new video. Today we'll be seeing the important concepts of time of supply under GST. I have divided this into four parts basically for this video. One, we'll be seeing for the forward charges. Second, we'll be seeing for the reverse charges. Third, time of supply of vouchers exchangeable for goods and services. And finally, for the residual cases. There is another important concept called when there is changes in the rates of tax. That concept we'll be seeing in the subsequent videos. Now we'll go on to the time of supply where the tax is payable for the under forward charge. Again, I've divided this into two parts. One is for the goods under section 12.2 and the second is for the services under section 13.2. How do you calculate time of supply of goods? Is date of issue of invoice or the date of receipt, date on which the supplier receives the payment, whichever is earlier. How do you calculate the date on which the supplier receives payment? Is one, the date on which the payment is recorded in the books of accounts, or the date on which the amount is credited in the bank account, whichever is earlier. The next concept is there is no GST on advances received for the supply of goods. But in case of supply of goods by a registered person other than the composition supplier, GST has to be paid on the outward supply of goods. So for that, the time of supply will be the date of issue of invoice or the last date on which the invoice is ought to be issued. One important concept we'll have to see before moving on to the time of supply of services is the general time limit for raising invoices. Again, for the goods and for the services. Under the goods, time of the general time limit will be the before or at the time of removal of goods for supply to the recipient, where the supply involves movement of goods, or delivery of goods or making available thereof to the recipient in any other cases. In case of services, before or after the provision of the service, but within 30 days from the date of supply of services. In case of banks, financial institutions, and insurance companies, it will be 45 days instead of 30 days. Now we'll go on to the time of supply of services. Again, into three parts. First one, invoice issued within the time period prescribed under section 31. How do we calculate that? Is date of issue of invoice or date of receipt of payment, whichever is earlier. Next, invoice is not issued within the time prescribed under section 31. How do you calculate that? Is date of provision of service or the date of receipt of payment, whichever is earlier. Again, receipt of payment, how do you calculate? Is the date on which the payment is recorded in the books of accounts or the amount is credited in the bank account, whichever is earlier in case of supply of services. Finally, when the above events are unascertainable, the time of supply will be the date on which the recipient shows the services in the books of accounts. Next, we go on to the concept of reverse charge. Again, goods, services. Goods are under section 12.3, services are under section 13.3. How do we calculate the time of supply of goods? Is date of receipt of payment or the date of payment or the 31st day from the date on which the invoice is issued by the supplier, whichever is earlier. In case of time of supply of services, date of payment or the 61st day from the date of issue of the invoice by the supplier. When the above cases are unascertainable, the time of supply will be the date on which the recipient shows the receipt of services in his books of accounts. Third concept is the time of supply of vouchers exchangeable for goods and services. This is under section 12.4 and 13.4. This is again divided into two parts. When the goods or services are identifiable, then the time of supply will be the date of issue of the voucher. In other cases, the time of supply will be the date of redemption of the voucher. And finally, we come on to the time of supply of goods and services in residual cases under section 12.5 and 13.5. Again, two parts where the periodical return is required to be filed. Then the time of supply will be the due date of filing such return. In any other cases, date of payment of tax. Thank you guys. Thank you for watching this video. Hope this video was informative. Please subscribe to our channel, like our videos, share, and do spread. Thank you.